and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here at Times Now. You're watching Live Wire. I'm Pratibha. First up, while Leicester and the United Kingdom witnessed fresh violence with fighting being witnessed on the streets, TMC spokesperson has put the blame on Hindus for the attacks, saying it's time the UK and other countries flag the threat of Hindutva extremism. In fact, this is the tweet that has been put up as well, saying after the shocking events in Leicester, it's time the UK and other countries flag the threat of Hindutva extremism. Let's go across to Madhav Das, who's joining us on the broadcast. Madhav, at a time when a temple has been attacked, there are reports of how this was partisan reporting on what exactly happened, how the violence unfolded. You have the TMC leader squarely blaming Hindus and saying this is a result of Hindutva extremism.
Well, it is not just the temples that were attacked. Of course, those pictures have gone viral now of flags being removed, or in some cases also being burned. But also, of course, it is a fact that Hindus and their vehicles and the symbols of Hindu religion were amongst those things that were attacked during the course of the violence. There are also reports coming in, although they are not completely substantiated, that Hindus, including children, were in fact held hostage for a limited period of time by some of those rioters. So in that being the context, certainly, of course, a very important question that comes to mind is that why is it that this particular spokesperson of a political party has completely forgotten to mention this, or is it a deliberate strategy perhaps on his part to look at it only from one point of view? Of course, who has started this entire violence, the police is going to investigate and is going to bring them to justice, is something the Leicester police has already said, but they have, of course, not denied those acts of violence and several of those videos. In fact, several claims that in fact a mosque was attacked have already been denied by the Leicester police in the recent past. So is this only a one-sided interpretation of the events that have taken place in Leicester, a location where a large number of Indians and a large number of Hindus, for that matter, perhaps one of the largest congregations of that of the community that in fact stay in Europe and particularly in the UK, raising some very serious questions as to why this particular interpretation has been taken and whether it is only to vilify a particular ideology or a political thought process. That's certainly a question that comes to mind at this point in time.
All right. Madhav, do stay on with us, because Saket Gokhale also said these overseas extremist groups also fund the BJP. So now the BJP has hit out at the TMC, asking them to call out hate against Hindus and saying don't talk about saffron terror that does not exist.
आपने देखा है जिस तरह से इन लोगों ने हमेशा से भगवा के ऊपर प्रहार करते हुए भगवे को बदनाम करने के लिए अपने लोगों को खड़ा करके अपने लोगों को गमछा डालकर आतंकवादियों को महिमा मंडित ये लोग करते हैं, तो इन्हें ये सब तरीके पता हैं। इसलिए यही लोग हैं जो बार बार इस तरह की घटनाओं को कराते रहते हैं और इल्जाम देना चाहते हैं, भगवा आतंकवाद की तरफ ले जाना चाहते हैं, क्योंकि इनको प्रेम है उन आतंकवादियों से जो दुनिया में उथल पुथल मचाए हुए हैं, पूरी दुनिया जिनसे परेशान है। भारत तेरे टुकड़े होंगे गैंग के साथ खड़े होकर, अलगाववादियों के साथ खड़े होकर, जिन्होंने विभाजन किया उनके साथ खड़े दिखते हैं ये लोग। आज भी इनकी सरकार जो चल रही है तृणमूल की, अगर आप देखें तो उसमें विदेशी ही फंडिंग और विदेशी लोगों का सहयोग रहता है ना। देश के लोगों की तो ये लोग हत्या करते रहते हैं।
Well, he is not blaming the real culprits. The real culprits are the radical Islamists in UK, and then it's the local government of UK which is also accepting that. But for the vote bank politics, they'll paint a different picture here. It will be appreciated that he should read and understand what's happening on ground. The fact is that Islamist radicals are on surge, and then they are not allowing any Hindu activity in areas where they have dominance.
So the BJP hitting out at the TMC, there's also a fresh reaction that has come in from Saket Gokhale himself, who has said that the majority community in Leicester is Gujaratis. So the sudden riots that are taking place is part of the BJP's toolkit. So Madhav, the politics over it continues with the BJP training guns on the TMC, but Saket Gokhale, the TMC leader, sticking to what he had said in his earlier tweet.
Well, not just sticking to his earlier tweets, but perhaps, this is a tweet that is going to get more reactions and perhaps at some level or the other more responses from the BJP, given the fact that he has chosen to name one particular state and refer to that in this particular case. Of course, Saket Gokhale is no stranger to controversy. He's made several controversial claims in the past, and once again, of course, just making those controversial claims continues. But in this case, when it has very clearly been documented as to what has transpired, when in fact the police is looking into it, there is no way that Saket Gokhale should have, at least being an Indian himself, have gone ahead and completely ignored the kind of attacks that have taken place on Hindus living in Leicester. What the exact nature of the provocation was, how it all began, these are matters of investigation that the police and the investigators have already said that they're going to be looking into. But making these kind of extremely controversial, comments just for the sake of it, ignoring completely the facts on ground, is certainly something that is going to be extremely controversial. And judging by the BJP's response, is not something that is going to blow over so easily.
Okay, all right. Madhav, thank you for joining us with those details. Let's also talk